And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for today's episode of Lady in the Lake, episode 4. Now this episode came out, I believe today, or this morning, or even last night, depending on when you watched it. Apple TV Plus, Natalie Portman, Moses Ivory, I believe her last name is. Probably butchered that, apologize. You know, I'm really starting to dig this show. It takes place in the 70s. You have these two women who are pretty much in the same, they kind of are similar, but they're also very, very different people. Natalie Portman she was a housewife turned to a journalist, while Moses is just a mother who plays Cleo, who's trying to just, keep her kids safe and away from, making bets with horses and stuff. So today's episode was really, really good. As today we got to see Maddie, played by Natalie Portman. She goes to visit the killer who supposedly killed a little girl that went missing, that everybody in the town was looking for, including the cops, family members, whatever. So she goes and visits the and try to figure out, what was in his mind, what did he saw that day, because apparently I feel like Maddie doesn't believe that he's actually the killer. Yeah, he's a little odd, a little strange, but he might be being framed. I mean, there was a moment when the little girl was with another man who was kind of more shady than the one that everybody's accusing of. So there's that. So there's that possibility, but who knows? So we got to see Maddie talk to him, and I guess he starts developing feelings for Maddie. So there's that creepiness, kind of like a Hannibal Lecter. I think Jodie Foster. I think it was Jodie Foster. I could be wrong about that kind of a scene when she shows up to interview Hannibal Lecter, kind of like that kind of situation where the killer becomes obsessed with the person who's interviewing him. So there's that. He literally escapes his mental hospital place that he's in just to go find Maddie and see her. He's got a picture of her. He's like looking at it like, oh, I'm in love with her. And who can blame him? It is Natalie Portman after all. But anyway, while that's happening, you have poor Cleo, who's, she's getting ready. It's Christmas time. She's not, worried about gifts and all this. She's worried about getting the heck out of town. She needs to make some money before she can get the heck out of town, because things kind of went down south for her, and she needs to leave town immediately. So she starts putting a bet on a horse race, and she's like, I'm guaranteed I'm going to win this money so I can get the heck out of here. That's happening. Her best friend is also having the problem as well, also trying to leave. She's the singer in the nightclub that they both work at, so there's that. Then there's a moment here where we get to see, I guess, Cleo kind of feel a little bit vulnerable, because she's not sure if she should leave and has to leave, because there's two different scenarios for that. She doesn't want to leave because, her family, but she has no choice because of all the stuff that went down with her. So there's that problem. And then, of course, you have Maddie. Her she started to become confident. Starting to become an independent woman who's also Jewish, but she's kind of doing a forbidden love kind of a thing here, where she's kind of dating the new head detective. That who was always the main cop there. He's African American. They're hooking up, and not supposed to. I don't know why. Obviously, because he's black and she's Jewish, so I don't know the rules about that back then. So I don't know. So that's kind of a little funny, but yeah. So she has to be very secretive with him, but she's also trying to make a career work now, because she's working for the newspaper who loved that she's getting interviews with the supposed killer and getting information. Apparently, the reason he's like this is because his father was experimented on in the military. He was a medic, so he did the same thing. So possibilities he could be the killer, possibilities he could not be the killer. So we have to wait and see. Maddie's world is still kind of, her former life is kind of, mixed up, because everybody looks at her and judges her now because she's changing her hair. She's acting different. She's not with her husband because, she's Jewish. She's supposed to be with her husband. So, but yeah, she left her husband and her son. Her son's talking back to her, which, by the way, if that was my My wife, I would knock that kid out like next week, 3 weeks of Sunday, talking to her like that. But yeah, our son literally doesn't care about his own mother anymore because, you know, he feels like he abandoned not only him but his father as well. Which, by the way, we haven't seen the father in this season so far since episode 2. So hopefully he comes back. But you know, we'll see. But overall, this show's been great. You know, last week's episode, I really liked it. Cleo's story. You know, it was really more captivating. But this week, I really started to like Natalie's story, or, you know, Maddie's story. She started to, you know, pick up the pace with her character and her development and all that. So it's very back and forth kind of a competition between these two actresses because they're both very, very good. Obviously, Natalie is the veteran here, but Moses has actually proven that she can really keep up with Natalie. So it's possibilities. You never know. One day, you know, we're gonna see the actress, you know, Moses, you know, pop up in a dramatic film, and she's gonna crush it, obviously. But yeah, these stories are pretty good, and I really am enjoying this show so far. I do wonder, though, what's gonna happen next, because the ending of this episode was pretty convincing about who died and who's in the lake. Obviously, we knew about the little girl, but there's also another person that we saw in the very first episode that went into the lake. We just didn't know who it was, but now we kind of got an even closer picture who it is. I have two possibilities. It's either gonna be Cleo. I don't know why I keep saying Chloe. Cleo, or her best friend, the magician lady. It could be one of those two. It could assume that we're all thinking it's gonna be Cleo, but I'm thinking it's gonna be her best friend, that she was also trying to help her get out of there because she just wants to get out of that situation that she's in. So either way, it's one of those two. Who knows? Maybe Maddie finds them eventually, and that's a new story for her. We have to wait and see. There's only 7 episodes in total for this show, but I'm enjoying it, so we have to wait and see what happens. So, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Are you guys watching it? Not watching it? Don't care? Don't know what I'm talking about? Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.